All right, greetings, everyone. We are live again. Today Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right,
What is
Colin?
it? Yep.
This Wednesday evening, y'all. We are live. Got my brother Kyler Genesis on today, this evening, guys. Make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, also, make sure you subscribe. Go to dynasmere.com, search for huru.com, join the subscribe to the email list, and we will greatly appreciate it, family. We will greatly appreciate it. Carl, how's it sound? I got my new mic.
You sound good. Sound good.
You know, it's funny. I was going through my drawers in my desk, and I had this mic sitting in the box, brand new, never
Yeah,
used it.
yeah. I have stuff like that too. I have a Alexis. Alexis, Siri, Alexis. I have like three of them brand new in my closet. I have never opened up. I know nothing about Siri, Alexa. On my car, on my dashboard, it's when you press the thing in the car play, it says Siri comes on. But other than that, I see people Siri. What's the weather? I do not use any of that stuff. So I'm very far behind on technology. I got
Yeah,
I got
so
three series Alexis and whatever thing. I got this one thing right here, sitting on my desk right here. I don't know what this is. Uh, it's you speak into it. It does something. One time it messed up
yeah,
my whole system. It started beeping, and next thing you know, everything I was blurting out. I didn't know what the heck. I don't know any of this stuff. Leave it for the younger people.
yeah. So I'm sitting going through my drawers. I found brand new in the box USB cords. I found this. I'm like, goodness, I didn't have it
All right.
sitting in there for like over a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that
Yeah,
bad boy
so
to use.
put it to use. Put this bad boy to use. So y'all, we are live again. Hit that like button. Let's see. I go to Nigeria every year now. Man, shout out to EB, everybody. Shout out to EB. EB, I'm glad I made an impact on your life. EB, thank you. I'm glad I influenced you to go to Nigeria. Niger. Speaking of Nigeria, tour Nigeria, Oshun Festival, August. Hit me up for details. Again, Oshun Festival, August. Hit me up for details. Family, shout out to EB. I'm glad I made an impact on your travel decisions. And now you're going to Nigeria. Amen. Amen. Now I have a wife in Nigeria and my baby is Nigerian. EB, congratulations. We're proud of you, brother. We are proud of you. So like, share, subscribe. Go to dynasmere.com. All that good stuff. We got brother College Genesis on with us today. And today's topic is Biden's plan to rebuild the black family, the black community, one crack pipe at a time. And the amount of dysfunction that's going on in the community, Kala, I mean, it seems like a lot of people been hitting the pipe. But Biden's going to be providing free pipes now.
Right. Yeah, yeah, like free pole dances
Yeah.
and all kind of nonsense. Juneteenth, you could celebrate Juneteenth. And the bottom line is, like I said, we have been unfortunately. I remember this when I was a kid. The entertainment for America, and many people in our community thought that if the way to the hearts and minds of white people is humor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, therefore, there was two things going on in Black America at one time. You had Black people who were getting rich, what they call selling out, and being buck dancing and shining for white America. And there's other Black people who just looked at that like that's abhorrent. That's not who we are. We've been battling this since we've been on this in this country. The Black America that we know, right? This is very important. Listen to what I'm saying. The Black America that we know and the Black America that's presented to the world, right? Presented to the world. Now, there's some people, right? I always said the road to hell is often paved with good intentions, right? They don't know Black America. So what they do is they come into the community. They're either advocates or YouTube personalities or commentators and everything. The black community need to do this, black community, and they don't know anything about the black community. They don't know anything about us, right? They're going on stereotypes and misinformation that we have about ourselves that people who aren't in the community look at. Black people. Like, let me give you an example. I don't know if you remember Real World. I think Real World in 2002 when it was in Cleveland.
I stopped watching Real World. Like,
but the one in Cleveland.
I don't remember.
With the one light-skinned black girl, and that one dude that was from Cleveland. The one, no, I don't think it was Cleveland. I can't remember what's here, but the one dude was from Cleveland, right? And he was telling the girl, right? Now you have a black Cleveland and white Cleveland, right? Both working class, both have the same sort of income, right? And so the one kid was saying that, yeah, see, in the white side, they're mostly police officers, firemen, and everything. They have a completely different view of the people on the other side of black Cleveland, which they're absolutely, their income level, education level, almost exactly the same. But the white community is basically has this thing where they view the black community, which they never have any contact with, they never seen everything. It's all hell's breaking loose. And one guy had to say, no, we're over here. We have families, we have churches, we have all stuff you have. Yeah, we have problems and everything. But the white people was like, oh, yeah, well, the white. And then the guy was saying, well, we're doing the same thing. We're making the same amount of money. We got doctors, you got doctors, we got stuff like this. So this is what I'm talking about. A lot of black people view themselves through the lens of white people. White people always see black America as a problem. And tonight I want to talk about some simple things that can fix black America, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know how to fix black America, you don't think we're fixable, right? What happens is you think there's some grand scheme that needs to come down on high. The white man needs to come down on high with a white horse and deliver your reparations. It's always like if the white man ain't riding through town with like Paul Revere, reparations now. Here's your check. Reparations. That's what a lot of black people really want. And the whole thing is this, like our problem is not really economic. It's a social problem. Black people have to learn to love themselves again. Black women have to learn to build a thing that by the time I'm 25 to 30, I want to make that decision that I'm going to. Women can do this. Black women could change the community overnight if they wanted to. If you give up the clubs, right? If you give up the thotting, if you give up all that stupid stuff that you're doing right now and say, you know something, Jasper that works at this stuff like that, I see him like that. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do. Just think of Florida and James. Good times. Florida, James had a hard time, but Florida was right there with him. And black one, how dare you compare me to Florida Evans? That's what you are. Florida, Flo. Wheezy. Wheezy. Remember Wheezy? Jeffersons, the Jeffersons. Wheezy. Right. Where are our Flows? Where's our Florida Evans? Where's our Wheezys at? The black family structure is the only way that's going to solve this problem, right? No matter the amount of money you try to put into the problem and everything, no matter how you try to slice it and everything, until black people get back to that thing where, even if you don't put a marriage on it, live in the same household. That will stabilize. You have mom and dad living in the house together and everything, like common law marriage. We used to have common law marriage. Remember that? People will live together for years, never married. Anyway, everybody wants to be. I'm a single lady. Beyonce.
But the ones that push that are married.
Right. I was just about to say that. Right. The ones that push all that nonsense are the ones that's booed up and married and whatnot. And they push that on the average black woman. And the only woman on the earth that's convinced that she's going to be independent and everything is a black African American woman. And this is like the root of our problems right here. This is why it appears that other immigrant groups are doing better than us. They're not doing better than us, right? It's just that they have their family game down packed. They got their family culture and all that stuff like that down packed. Culture is in the family. You lose the family, you lose your culture. You lose your cultural identity. Why? Mm-hmm. Because the families check each other, right? Thanksgiving is coming around, right? You don't want to show up at the Thanksgiving gathering. Oh, what happened to you and such, right? oh, we split up. But I like, no, you don't want that. So people keep families together. Why? Because that's the way we always did it, right? Because you build a family, cousins, and all these things, all these very important things. That's how you build businesses. That's how you survive. That's how you help each other by strong family units. It used to be a time in Black America we did not need the government. We didn't need welfare. We had each other. Now we have Black America grossing almost $2 trillion a year, and we got nothing to show for it. Why? Because all our money goes to partying and foolishness and everything. And then it has a broader problem, right? Once, like I said, asked this question, Diane, before a long time. If Black people don't have these problems, then who are we? We would know ourselves. So in other words, basically, you got Black people, everybody that's on TikTok right now is some sort of Black, oh, I got, like, look, girl, these girls making 20,000 TikTok videos a week, you know? And I feel like, and I want to, yo, what will solve your problem is that dude that's after you, just let him fucking marry you, shut the heck up, right, and raise a family. Spend the time raising your kids instead of being on TikTok giving relationship advice. There's one lady that's on that's a divorcee. Now she's a dating coach. You know, how you're divorced and you're a dating coach? The only group of people that is going through this are the African American. Oh, well, let me say, foundational Black America. You know, and then what we want to do is we want to look at other groups coming here, right? And they seem to be. This is very important. They seem to be happy.
Caller, we got a caller. But go ahead and finish your point, then we'll get to the caller. Go ahead.
Okay, they seem to be happy, and we seem to resent that, right? They don't have the dysfunctions that we have in our community, which is basically families and stuff like that. That's why we have delinquency in our community. That's why we have the pregnancy rate, the dropout rate, and everything like that, because we are people that's hell-bent on foolishness, you know, and it's attacking the Black middle class. You got a lot of Black people in the middle class, right? Falling into the same trap and everything. If you go to the middle class, you see a generation ago, you didn't see this, right? You see girls living with their parents and whatnot, you know, and the grandmother is taking care of the kid, the grandma, and everybody taking care of that kid. There's no responsibility on the young man.
Let's get a go ahead, Black Line.
Oh, no, let him finish first. It's fine.
No,
Okay,
I made my opening point. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, okay. How y'all doing? I know it's been a while.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I know you guys were talking. I know Dias had the show about Biden, about the crack pipe the other day. I want to talk about it, but I'll be honest with you, that was very fucked up. Excuse my language, but that was very fucked up and very offensive. Because like the fact of the matter is the fact that he pretty much bring a trauma that we had of an incident like that nearly destroyed our community.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, Black Line. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Ladies in the chat room, link is in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in. Okay. Again, you're more than welcome to call in. That's all I'm saying. All right. I just don't want to go back and forth in the chat. Again, you're more than welcome to click the link and call in. All right, go ahead, Black Line.
Okay. No problem. But yeah, when I found out about that on social media and everything, I was horribly offended. Like, he literally had the gall to literally bring and pretty much like a trauma that an event that destroyed our community for damn near almost half a century, and we're still barely recovering from that. But at the same time, I'm mad at my community in a way because this is how submissive we are to pretty much to white Democrats. This is how far we're submissive to them for them to do something like that, and the majority of the Black community ain't saying nothing about that. Like they did, like
Black Line. Our people are just. Our people are just sick now. Like they're just. You literally have Black people defending this shit. Your boy Roland Martin. I tweeted him today. He was defending it. Got upset. I tweeted Roland Martin a couple of days ago in regards to Black Lives Matters running off with $90 million. His argument was, well, the source you sent me is from a right-wing site. So I sent him the sources from the left-wing sites. He disappeared, no response. I then sent him, the story in regards to this crack pipe reform. He gets all upset and mad. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm like, well, then I circle back in regards to the Black Lives Matters running off with $90 million. He had no response. It's to the point now, our people, like black liberal leadership has an agenda and they want our people to just fail. They hate our people. I'm gonna give you another example. Black Enterprise Magazine. The article that they put out there in regards to the crack pipe reform, you know, they removed it. Like black liberal leadership just has this agenda, and they're bought and paid for. I mean, you got Keisha Lance Bottoms going to be an anchor at or commentator at CNN now, in a failing institution. Again, it's just they hate black people, and it's just so obvious.
And they really hate. They really
in the name of just butter biscuits. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
This whole thing. They hate black men. That's why they want to destroy Bill Cosby. That's all it is. You know, they hate the idea of strong black men. But Black America was once ruled by strong black men. You know, every neighborhood, everything, you had strong black men that provided, you know, and the patriarchy. Well, those white girls that were talking that stuff like that end up like Jane Fonda, end up marrying strong white men again. The black women basically got that in their head with the feminists that they don't need a man and everything. And you had the devastating effect of that is just like thing. This is why immigrants. We got echoing.
No, I mean myself. Go ahead.
This is why the immigrants look like they're doing better than us, because our social contract is destroyed in this country right now. The social contract. If you don't have a family unit, you don't have institutions, you don't have all these things, you're not going to survive. So therefore, you just got to keep taking the L's from people that's coming over here. Because why? Because the stuff that we go through, they don't go through. You know, they don't have that. They don't have these conversations with their kids. So when they make criticism, well, y'all should be doing better. What they're talking about is not so much as America is a problem. We have a problem, and Black America doesn't want to realize that. And we don't have a problem. We have a destructive culture that's destroying our people every day. The lady that played in Baby Boy, you know, the mother that played in Baby Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. She had for her 50th birthday,
a train.
She had a train.
What?
I tell you no lies.
Oh my! Oh God!
And they put this out there. You know, put this out there. That's okay. Everybody he and think it's funny. And what happens is other people around the world are starting to look. Black America used to be the moral compass of the world, but now we have this garbage and trash that's representing us on a scale. And you got young girls saying, "Well, if she could do it, I could do it." You know, and you see this stuff you see in social media. All this thought culture and everything. You'll think that the thing is about the black people in America, right? And this is what the problem is. We always know that because the white man, that's why it's the stupidest thing calling yourself a foundational Black America. That's the dumbest thing in the world. You got no foundation here, you know? Because anytime the white man can just snatch your ass up and whatnot and take anything, you know what I'm saying? We're completely weak. We have no institutions anymore. Ebony's gone. HBCUs are compromised. Everything's compromised right now. So we have no strong institutions backing us anymore. And with one institution that they made sure fail is a black family structure. And so we have all this, but we know there's going to be the white zaddy is going to come in and save the day. See other people, right? When you see Nigerians and you see all these other people, right? They know it's do or die. So when they get an opportunity to come here and make it, they're gonna do it, right? Black people just know, oh, I'm a foundational Black American. I built this country and also like that. And all this kind of freaking goofy shit, you know, that they can't prove, you know. So
no, you're oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dynast.
No, go ahead, Black Lion. I'm gonna pass the mic to Sharon. Go ahead, Black Lion.
Okay, thank you. No, Mr. Caller, you're 150% correct, and because. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I love my community. I really do. I respect the history and the hell we went through. But I heavily agree with you. Like, the sad part is our community are very dysfunctional. We have a dysfunctional community, and a lot of us do not want to admit that for nothing. Like, I heard so many African Americans, especially the men, when they go to the continent, they say, I never knew or realized how westernized or corrupted I was until I set foot into the continent. Yeah, the family structure was there. The love was there. the admiration for black masculinity was there. It was damn near like the Garden of Eden to a lot of black people, especially the black men when they left. And the sad part is, I often said to some black men, even online and everything, I don't care if it's Umar Johnson, Farrakhan, Kevin Sounds, I don't care. My thing is, I often said, I think what we need to do as a community is stop trying to save the community. Because one thing I learned from Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, and a lot of
listen, I agree. I've been on that for like the last couple of years now. I
exactly. If one thing slavery taught us, literally, besides the civil rights movement, one thing slavery did teach us was like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, and even Malcolm X said it. We do not waste our time trying to make house Negroes field Negroes. If they want to stay on the plantation, we leave them. Because the sad part is, if Malcolm X and all the other African American heroes were alive today and saw what happened, not only would they be horrendously disgusted, but the first people that would attack them wouldn't be white people; it'll be us, because we're so westernized. It's ridiculous. We would if Malcolm X today, if he called out the black community, he'll literally be called anti-woman, homophobic, transphobic. He'll damn near be anti-liberal, anti-democrat, to the point where he might as well go back into the grave, because that's how far we're still gotten.
So that's why. Why do you think they're trying to destroy his name?
Right. Okay, I want to get go ahead, Sharon. Unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi.
go ahead.
I'm really happy to be here. Thank you all. I really enjoy watching your show. I've been learning a lot. I just wanted to. I saw some of the ladies in the comments, and they left some questions. So I just wanted to ask that. I know Kala was talking about Black women and how we should, I guess, give better guidance to our children or something like that.
You better what?
Give better guidance to our children or something like that, or that was our responsibility. And I think someone was asking about what about the male leadership. So I just I don't know, I wanted to ask you about that, about why do you feel like a lot of it is solely based on, the Black woman and us raising our family.
Women pick and choose. Well, let's be honest with ourselves. Women pick and choose. A Black woman can have any man she wants. She knows that. She goes, she drives up on a traffic light. And she's like, no matter what she looks like or not, she still thinks, oh, don't, she'll speed away. Don't, dude, girl, I'm good. But the bottom line is this, though. So women know they get hit. They can have any option, everything. So when they choose a man, right, it's in them. And I understand that, right? Because a woman, we never tell a woman who to love, who to think. But there's something in our soul and our spirit why a lot of our sisters can't just choose the right man. That what draws them to the wrong men that's not going to stick around and raise their kids, and why they have 3 different fathers. If I have to hurt some people's feelings tonight, I love you enough to hurt people's feelings. The woman raises a child. Men provide. That's the job of man, to provide, right? Sure, women can have a good job, but the primary responsibility of man is to provide. A woman's job is to nurture and raise a kid, teach them right from wrong and stuff like this. When you see guys out here, these communities being destroyed by gangs, drugs, and everything like that, it's right there. It's because they had no guidance. The male's been emasculated, taken out of the picture and everything. There's no role models. The Black people who do have success move out. They just don't want anything to do with this situation. We used to have people, extended family, uncles, and everybody else that the hand and provide leadership and guide. We don't have that anymore. The average Black kid is on his own, and he falls into the vices of drugs, gangs, and a criminal lifestyle. And he's being raised by drill music and it's nonsense. I'm going to tell it like it is. We can't sit here and celebrate self-destruction, right? And just because somebody's making millions of dollars up there and they're putting ideas in their head. We got Snoop Dogg still talking about I'm Crip for life and all that. What's that say to a 13-year-old kid about what's right and wrong? What's right and wrong?
Exactly.
I understand what you mean, Kala, but I was saying that, shouldn't the men be responsible too for, leaving the family?
Well, let me ask you a question. Right? Okay. when I'm saying leaving, divorces happen. I get that, right? But what I'm seeing is a woman is having a kid and she never got a ring on her finger and say, we're gonna have a kid before I lay down with you, because that's how it was back in the days. I'm gonna basically you're gonna be the one, We get pregnant, understand it. You get pregnant, we'll get married, that's it. That's all, it's over, right? There's no understanding. No, it's like go out there, you want to, I like him, he look cute, I'm gonna get with him and everything. And there's a hookup culture. So you gotta understand something. White girls can do that. They got money, they get abortions, and they can do all that stuff like that. Black women, the devastating effect of acting like them, with the hookup culture, being the black version of Paris Milan, the sleeping with the whore culture and stuff like that. It's not good. What happened to the virtuous woman? What happened to the woman that says, I want to be a wife? You're going to wife me. You're going to respect me. It used to be a time where you get a girl pregnant, a father come up there with a shotgun and say, you're going to marry her. And no as a but about it. We don't
I
have
understand. I understand what you mean. I've been seeing like a lot of single mother shaming online as far as the Black YouTube sphere goes, and divorces happen, in life, and sometimes I just feel like women do their best to raise their children, especially if you're divorced or something happens to the father. I just feel like it's a lot.
Let me say this, right? When I see women that's a divorce, right? I know a lot of women that are divorced, right? She had the thing of marriage, right? So that kid wasn't born in out of wedlock, where like she had the thing of marriage, right? And somehow the divorce happens, everything. If you could put 10 years into a child's life, right? By the time 3 years later, the kid's a teenager, right? He can go stay with his parents, stay with her and everything. And sometimes, if the father's still in the child's life, that's a different story. But what we're talking about is you got girls up here like, you are not the father or not. Go through 25 paternity tests and you can't find out who the father is. You got women, sisters, black women, and that's white women too, and now Asian women, whoever. But it's devastating to our community, right? Who have 3 and 4 kids and they don't even know who the father is. They got to take paternity tests. That's what I'm talking about. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse.
Okay.
Sometimes, people get divorced, they break up and everything. But why would she pick somebody, right, to lay down with that she knew didn't love her, wasn't responsible, that don't love her, and don't even love what he produced? You produce a child. Once you produce a child, it's over. Well, all your fun and games, everything like that ends. It's not about you no more. It's about that life you brought into this world. And the bottom line, the reason why we don't take this seriously is because we know we got a welfare state. Like, go down to the county, any city, you see our sisters out there, Like, I'm just telling you the truth, and it's time to tell the truth. Who do you see out mostly on the county line getting the WIC and getting the Social Security, getting the Section 8? It's our women, and that's a crying shame. That's a crying shame, and it does not have to be like that. That's something that we can control. That's something that we can turn around. Ain't no white man, ain't no government, ain't like that going to change that until we look within and say, no, this is not acceptable. We don't have to. It's not bashing on mothers. It's not bashing on all. Just say this is not acceptable anymore, because right now, it's like it's not like now you got our brothers and sisters in the diaspora looking at us a certain way.
Yep.
That puts the Pan-African movement in jeopardy. Everything. They say, you want to come to Africa? We don't want that over here. I hear that a lot. We don't want your baby mama culture and stuff like that. So the bottom line, I got to keep defending this nonsense.
Well, I just thank you for that. I just wanted to just say, I believe it's the mother and father that are responsible for raising
exactly
a child, and I don't believe it should just be put on the mother. So that's all. But thank you.
Well, ultimately, the women, they got to make the choice of who they're going to be with, who they're going to lay down with. Ultimately, a man's going to do. Men are dogs. Men are going to do what you allow them to get away with. And the bottom line is, when you make these mistakes, mistakes. I'm not saying a pregnancy should not be a mistake, but when you do these things, right? You do these things and everything, it has consequences to your family, to your community, everything. Now we have 2 generations of this. And this is why all hell's breaking loose in places like Philadelphia, Chicago, Minneapolis, Baltimore. You know, it's a fatherless America. You know, Black America is a fatherless thing. And then people coming over here, and they basically come over here from Liberia, come from Nigeria, Angola, or whatever, Ghana, every country, and they basically going to school. The husband, or they're living in a shape. We did shows right here, Dinus, right? Young men, African men living in apartments, right? I got my kids in the background. That thrills me so much. Young men who think it's important to raise their children and everything. You hear the wife and the kid in the background and everything. You almost never hear African Americans in that same situation. Never. And so the bottom line is this. You know why? Because instead of being a player, you know, like our men do, these guys got things about thinking about what they're gonna do, what they build with back in their homeland. I'm gonna get this business and everything. I gotta raise my kids. I gotta put my kids through this college and everything. They take life seriously because they have no other option. As long as we have this system in America, right? That's a nanny system and a pape system and a zaddy system. It's always going to be like that. And that's why we have in Georgia right now, where they're going to give 8 single mothers $850 a month subsidy. That's a shame.
What?
Oh, yeah, Dinus, tell them, break it down for them, Dinus.
Yeah. So they're rolling out this pilot program. Then after this, free game, unmute yourself. I'm passing to you, free game. You go mute yourself. They're rolling out.
Cool.
They're rolling out this pilot program where they're going to start giving Black single mothers, and they're specific, Black single mothers, $850 a month.
Are you kidding me?
That's serious.
No.
God.
I mean, just like your reaction when I posted about the crack pipes. People are like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no, it's right here.
Well, thank you.
Oh my God. They're really
Thank you. Thank you all for having. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go ahead, free game. Go ahead, free game.
Oh my God.
How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's your name? Kala? Genesis?
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
How you doing? All right. How you doing?
I'm good. This is my first time on, and I do consider myself a foundational Black American. Yes, I believe that my people are indigenous to America. But also, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Don't start.
Okay.
I can say that. I'll mute myself.
Oh, okay. So, but anyway, I do think America is not the place for Black Americans right now. I think we do foolish things. I think we have regressed. Tariq Nasheed, I don't agree with him. We are actually doing worse than Africans, in my opinion, on the continent of Africa. I feel like we're doing worse because are we really free over here? Have we really progressed any? If we look at our women now, more and more women are into prostitution in America.
The
OnlyFans.
Free game. Let me interject real quick. So we got, and I know I'm gonna piss some people off. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out right now. Brandon, I'm gonna bring you on in a second, Brandon.
Okay.
OnlyFans, Bumble. It's crazy. It's to the point now, like it's okay to have a respectable job. It's all right. What happened to, going to a 9 to 5? It's like now they want this fast money, and they are selling. You know what? Online.
Did I tell you? Did I send you that video, Dinus, where the sister was arguing with her brother in the car, and she was like, "I don't want no 9 to 5 nigga. I don't want no 9 to 5." She's like, "Well, you working all the time. What's the 9 to 5 gonna do for me? What 9 to 5 nigga gonna do for me?" And you hear this all over. Kevin Samuels did a video with about this chick talking about she's 36 now. She wanted a relationship, and he asked her, "Well, what were you doing all this time?" Like, I was having fun. See, this.
I've seen it.
That does not happen in Africa. Women take decisions seriously. That's why you Negroes go that you passport pookies when you go over there. Don't go over there messing with them sisters over there. If you better get with them and do right by them because you know what'll happen to you. You know, you fuck with African sisters, you know what'll happen to you over there. Over here, it's like okay, we don't care because white zaddy will pick up the slack. The American taxpayer pick up the slack. What do we care for how many kids we have? Oh, we can go to the abortion clinic. Oh, whatever like that. We are losing our soul. And we can't talk about anything. Pan-Africanism, we can't talk about the FBA and everything until we gain who the heck we are back.
Yeah, I feel like, Tariq is, I feel like we as Americans, we haven't done anything since slavery. You know what I mean? Well, since the 1920s and 1930s. This new generation, our women have to resort into prostitution because they broke. You know what I mean? They broke. We're regressing damn near into a third world country. We just have the tools. We just have.
Go get a job. What do you mean? Go get a job.
Exactly.
They don't want a job. You know what I mean? A job is too fast. You know what I mean? And I feel like we can go to Africa. Get along.
You have to change who we are first. We do. Get the nigga out of us. We gotta get this nigga spirit out of us before we go. Oh, we
do, but we need a fresh start. I mean, what the fuck? Only way we change America.
We need our own nation out of America, out of the bounds of America, and start all over. That's the end game for me. A nation of our own, we can start all over.
That's it. I mean, because only way we get America back is through blood. If we ain't talking about that, you really ain't talking.
Free game, you're absolutely right. And I have said it. Brandon has said it. That these so-called Negroes, you're not your ancestors, okay? We could talk about John Lewis, we could talk about MLK Jr., but they was on the front lines ready to catch hell. These Negroes aren't going to get off of YouTube. It's all about YouTube, documentaries, and conferences. That's it. That's all. They're not about to get out there and rub elbows or do anything with anybody. Throw elbows.
Hey, bro, it's crazy, bro. I feel like, you know what I mean? I like Tariq, but I feel like he wrong, man. Like, he don't have to come at those people the way he do because we don't look good as a society ourselves. You know what I mean? We don't look good.
To you, Free Gang, can I ask you a question?
What's up, bro?
All right, if somebody broke in your house, tied your family up, stole all your belongings, would you be like, man, I like that dude, but he didn't have to break in my house and steal all my stuff and tie my family?
Hell no, I'm trying to kill whoever. Hell.
Exactly. So this is the thing. That's the problem with black folks. We too double-minded. We like the people who are destroying us. You said, Tariq, I like that dude, but he wrong. Brother, listen, wait. The Bible says, do not sit with men of lies, right? That means if somebody lie, you don't sit up with them, listening to him, kikiing with him, and then go say, man, I don't like that dude, he a liar. So black folks is getting exactly what they want because the road to destruction is hella entertaining. And so we love entertainment so much that we're willing to sacrifice everything for it. People watch Tariq knowing he wrong his two left shoes because he funny. He funny. That dude is totally divested from the black community. There's no more like, brother. There's no more like. This is the same thing we do with the white man. He kick us on the backside and we say, well, I like him, but I don't like the way he kicked me in the backside. And Tariq has followed the white man's business model. He knows he could treat black folks any kind of way, and we're still going to rationalize following them, sending them money. I had a woman on my channel talk about she kept sending Tariq money even though she didn't agree with nothing Tariq was saying because he was talking about immigrants and we ain't African. She was still sending them money. So
Mhm.
listen, Tariq is an agent of white supremacy. Dr. Amos Wilson said it best. Black people have been programmed to uplift the very people who destroy our community. Gangbangers. Liking Tariq is just like saying free Pookie when you know Pookie is committing murders up in your neighborhood. We love trying to support someone who is destroying us, and that's the problem.
Well, I do understand where you come from. I understand where you come from, and you're right. I can't. I don't have a rebuttal for it. You're right. You definitely right, bro. And after that assassination attempt, it seemed like shit just went left with him. You know what I mean?
You mean when Tariq called the police lying about a bomb threat?
Well, after that, it seemed like shit just turned, you know, real weird. Like because Africans and Caribbean, you think they not our problem, bro? They got the same problem we do.
Tariq is simply trying to pump up the division to sell his garbage book, bro. Everything is about first it was the album, now it's the book. See, but the album, he want immigrants to buy the album too. You know, because Tariq has a lot of immigrants who support him, and they're getting their karma because they supported somebody off of goofiness, and now he then turned on them. Now they feel in some type of way. That's why they're so mad. So those immigrants who follow Tariq, they deserve every single thing they get, and I hope they do get deported because they stupid. We don't need those type of black folks. But the thing, what I'm saying is, there was no you can't assassinate a freaking bum, dude. First of all, but there was no assassination attempt on Tariq, bro. That's a lie. Go look up the police report. That's a lie. No one tried to kill him, right? And for a guy who's such a soldier against white supremacy, shoot, if somebody said I'm gonna bomb your house, I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna be ready. I ain't gonna even call the police in his all white neighborhood, okay? But this guy Tariq is just trying to sell books, and he's trying to sensationalize you guys because he already knows Black America's back is against the wall. And nobody is easier to be radicalized than a group of people who are helpless and hopeless. Look how the the Germans got radicalized when they were down on their luck, when the Great Depression struck. White Americans was jumping out of windows, killing themselves, standing in soup lines. What were Nazis? What were Germans doing? Being radicalized, being taught to blame a certain group of people for their problems. And look how it turned out. Tariq is following that same model. And instead of men being men and standing up against it, we fall right along. Oh, I'm indigenous. My family's from here. All that stuff. It's like, bro, all that is a part of the pseudo science, deceptive grifting that Tariq and all these dudes are doing. You are an African. Do a DNA test. Don't say DNA is not real. Do a DNA test so you can see who you really are. Because if you don't know who you are, any old grifter can come and take you any way he wants to. And that's the hook Tariq got in your butt, taking you over to where he wants you to be. That, oh, I think I'm indigenous. Don't think, brother. We're black men. We don't operate off think. We go find out for a fact. Go get that DNA so you'll know where you're from.
Preach.
We need strong black men to reclaim our culture from all these people, these divisive people. We need people that's going to reclaim. And this, look, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this, right? There's enough right now in Black America. Even before we even start doing it, there's enough black people in America that are doing well. But you got this guy living over here. He's tricking off his money, you know, and everything. You got this sister over here. I asked Dynas this. I haven't been to Atlanta, right? I asked Dynas a question, right? I said, let me guess, Dynas. You got a whole bunch of sisters down there with driving Benzes, got condos, townhouses, and everything, living by themselves, their kids, and everything like that. When you take that, if a generation ago, those same sisters would have been married, and the household income would be double. The neighborhoods we stabilized. You had role models, you had cousins, you had everybody celebrating Black America. You wouldn't have no crime in Black America. And we had our families, had our cousins, aunts, everybody working together, and everybody has to do the right thing, you know. But we turn to the gospel of sin and chaos and all this kind of nonsense and everything, and just living the hedonists vicariously through entertainers and all these other people, and the the cost of this is what we have right now. We don't know who we are. Why do you think somebody could come in after everything we know about our history? We know we came from Africa. We know we were slaves in America. We know what the white man did to us. But someone is coming here saying, I'm going to take all that away from you and create a new identity. Your foundational Black America. Slavery didn't happen, you know? This is your land, your foundational. Black man, you are no more American than the Nigerian that gets off the boat tomorrow, you know? Because you're Black in America. Yeah, he inherits what our ancestors did, right? A Nigerian comes here and he is in Black America. He's part of Black America now. That's he's a Jamaican. Everybody's part of Black America. That's what the Ukrainians do when they come in. They're part of white America.
I agree with that, bro. I agree with that.
When the Dutch come here, with 2 or 3 years, Russians, everything. The only one that stays a little stale is the Albanians and Russians. They're still a little, like that. You know, they're exceptions. Albanians and Russians are different. But any other European that comes here, right? They're Americans. Whatever, I'm like that. One generation and it's gone. Now you want to tell somebody who's been here for 30 years, 40 years that you're a tether. You're not in. That's all the culture of self-hate. The whole culture of African denial. As all culture of anti-pan-Africanism. America is where Pan-African was born. You know, that means that we're Black first. That's all Pan-African means. We're Black first. You know, anywhere we go, we're Black men first. We see ourselves. What goes on in Kenya is my problem. What goes on in Ethiopia is my problem. What goes on in Jamaica is my problem. What goes on South Africa, there's no hold your own nuts. No, it don't work like that. And the bottom line is people say they don't care. Look, but you have no idea how many Africans are concerned about what we go through in America. They talk to me all the time. They know all about what we're going through. So there's a lie that they don't care about what else they're at because you don't know anything. You're going by a couple of, and not that you take the people that Africans that you're talking. These are young kids, 19, 20. They don't know. Of course they're gonna say stupid stuff, you know. But I want people as adults let's be adults in the room. Yeah, we have our problem. We could talk about Nigerians and Ghanaians and everything like that. That's what family do. But it's always a door open for me. With me is we can always at the end after our discussion, we're still brothers. If you can't do that, yeah, we're gonna have our differences. Let's not ignore that there's tensions between Nigerians and African Americans. We'll go like that. But in the end, we're in this together. If you can't do that, then there's something wrong.
Hey, Dynast, can I say something real quick that I was gonna say for my show, but I'll say it right here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want everyone to understand the hypocrisy of all these pseudo movements, FBA, ADOS, all this stuff. On one hand, FBA, ADOS is attacking immigrants, right? Talking about they don't get on code, they're undermining us, they come out here, they kiss the butt of the white man and all that stuff, right? But at the very beginning of everything, white folks were saying, we need equality. We need to, Black folks were saying, we need equality. We need to join hands with our white brothers, and we need to erase the color lines in America. Martin Luther King, I want my kids to be judged by the content of their character. These white people are our brothers, and we're going to have a coalition. What's so funny is, on one side of their mouth, FBA is talking about, white folks, please just cut us a check. We love y'all. We agree with y'all. We want to we're Americans. We're proud Americans. But out the other side of their mouth, they trying to tell Africans that white folks in America is the enemy, right? So if an African come get on code with the white folks and work and embrace the American dream, we get mad at them. But on the other side, ADOS is got the American flag. We're proud to be Americans. This is our country. We love this country. So, Dynast, I don't really see what's the disconnect. Africans come embrace America for what it is and love the country. You saying you love the country, you're proud to be American. Why are you mad at those Africans? The rules of America is that anyone can come here and become an American. So FBA, ADOS, their issue is not with Africans. Their issue is with the country that they claim to love, because this country has set a certain standard and a certain set of rules. You guys don't like the rules, so there's only one option for you: move out of the country, because you're never going to be satisfied here, because this country says those Africans, when they land, They're Americans. If you don't like that, too bad. If you touch them, we're going to put you in jail. We're going to throw you in the bottom of the prison, right? So what's the reality? You're an enemy of America. You don't even like America. You don't like America's rules.
And Brandon, and you know this for a fact. When you first heard about the BAL, what's the one thing say? We landed for a nation. Why? Because we knew there was a lot of black people deep down inside hated America, right? So here's the option, right? We could build a nation still. And a lot of Africans say, yeah, come on. We can help you build a territory. You can build Africa. Right away, that's when the ADOS movement copped up. No, we're here. You just said that America owes you reparations and you hate like that. So why don't you take the reparations? Let's take the trillions of dollars and funnel into the continent. We could build a new civilization for ourselves. That was the idea of the African. We said Africa build a new state.
Colin, now they said, I swear to God, I did a show yesterday or the day before on this. They're saying now, Dane Calloway, the other guy who got our people out here lost and stupid, there was no such thing as slavery. No one came
slavery didn't happen. Erase slavery from the.
He said nobody came over here to work for free. He said all this was about employment. They paid black people to come from Africa and work on farms, and they paid them for their labor. This is what Dane Calloway say. Now, all these folks following Dane, they're not even listening to what's being said. They're just like, I'm in delusion. I get to go every day for an hour and live in La La Land. So now, guess what? If Dane is true, that means that you don't have any rights to reparations. And if anybody doesn't believe me, go to my channel. I have a video I just did. It was my last video. I specifically highlight, I play the video, and I'm telling you, Dane on the video says slavery was not about free labor. It was about employment. Slaves were paid. He said black people were paid to come to America to work. There was no such thing as a slave trade. If you don't believe me, go watch the video. If you don't watch the video, that just means you want to believe a lie and you're scared of the truth, and therefore.
Hey, Brandon, check this out. I got a short story, right? Back in what year was this? 1994. Show my age, right? I worked at this restaurant called Daryl's, right? A restaurant, a steakhouse, right? Well, this one guy that worked there. We're all young guys. We're all enough of young guys work there, right? There's one older guy that came in, right? This guy, you could tell he was like, he showed pictures back there. He had a big afro, real fit and everything. He was 48 years old, right? He was 48. And then he was older than all of us, right? But the guy was kind of slow, right? Right? He couldn't pick the job up, whatever, in the kitchen. So anyway, long story short, a couple of years later, right? I guess this guy was like in his glory. You could tell he was really good looking when he was younger, right? But he's getting older. Think about this. He's getting older, right? I met him a couple of years later, right? We'll say about 6 years later. I said, how you doing? Yeah, man, I'm only 32. I said, he just brought that out. I'm 32. I said, dude, I was like, I didn't want to embarrass him, like you say you're lying. Dude, I saw your thing on your application. You were 48 when you worked with us like 8 years ago. How do you get back down to 32, right? So I see nothing like that. Oh, yeah, like this. So I could see his mental state was going. The dude was so scared to get old, he kept subtracting years from his life, right? And then one time, it was like 10 years after that, right? I saw the guy again in Home Depot. Again, so he was working with a contractor. The guy looked like an old man. He was like in his 60s, right? Yeah, man, I'm only 37, man, The dude's mind had completely gone. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Dane Callaways and all these people that are giving people alternate history. It's cruel. You're giving them alternate history to make them feel good because slavery is so painful. So you want to take that away from them. But you're not giving them the means to deal with the truth. And so what happens is these people that listen to Dane Calloway, these people are going to be miserable. They should sue him. They should shut him down for what he's doing to people's minds.
Exactly.
Hey, let's get back on topic in regards to the black family. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the topic?
Oh yeah, when the lady came on,
because everybody listen, Brandon is a married man, married to a sister with a daughter. Example of black love. All right, go ahead, Brandon.
No, like the lady came on and she didn't want to own the fact that she wanted to kind of go after Kala. She wanted to try to put it off on other women. I'm gonna tell you this right here. and this should end it because I just had to check my wife right now because she was listening to the show and she's like, see, y'all always putting it on us, but this is my house and I have to make sure that truth is the order of the day, right? So I told my wife straight up, women don't like to accept accountability for the role they play and what's going on in our community.
Hell
Here's
no.
the difference. You could say, men, y'all wasn't around, y'all don't got no role to play. Let me tell you something. When you was out here choosing to lay up with Pookie, when the good men was all trying to talk to you, he lame. Dinus, Colin, every man on this panel, we are 6 men here. 6 men. Listen to what I'm telling you, ladies. We are 6 men here. Did we all not live in the era when women was turning down the good dudes and going with the Pookie? Ooh, I like him because he's a thug. I will call my
Not many times.
I have 5 sisters. I will call every one of them on this live right now, and they will confirm to me that when they were younger, they wanted to date thugs. They wanted to date the bad boys. And anyone who sits up and says, oh, he wasn't doing that, she's a liar. And my wife, I was telling my wife, I said, look, you dated me. She said, Brandon, you was a thug. So I dated you. You was a thug. I said, you're right. She said, but where did I meet you at? She met me in college. I was gangbanging, but I was taking my butt to school every day. Okay? That's different from these girls I see running around. They leave the college to go down to the worst neighborhood in LA to go lay up with some Pookie and have unprotected sex. So I'm not saying that men have no responsibility. The father is a crucial part of the family structure. But is the man you're laying up with father material? Do you think that this dude who's going in and out of jail, this dude sitting up smoking weed, don't want to work, he can't even change your tire when it go flat, do you look at this dude with his pants hanging off his ass and say, you know what? I think that guy will make a great father. That's the difference. That's the difference. That coochie is yours. It is yours. You decide who you want to give it to. If you give it to Pookie, that's not my fault. That's your fault. And the minute women start understanding that they have a precious thing, the minute Black women start valuing their most prized possession, which is their reproductive organs, and stop giving them up to any old Pookie and Ray Ray, anyone with his pants hanging off his butt, that's the minute you're going to see the Black family make a comeback. I cannot have a baby. I can't. I cannot go out and let some dude, run up in me and I'm going to produce a kid. You can. So that means you have to be extra selective with who you're reproducing for. Babies are for husbands, not for boyfriends, ladies. Babies are for husbands, not for boyfriends. And so stop trying to evade accountability. Stop trying to blame it. Oh, the men too. Why don't you just sit in it for a while and own it like your big mama used to, and maybe you'll see something, a change come in your life. Because those kids sitting up looking at you and they daddy ain't nowhere in sight, that's not because men are trash. That's because you love them because it was good to you when it was good to you. And you saw all the signs. When he was beating you up and choking you in the bathroom, you knew this might not be the greatest guy to have a kid by, but you had the baby. A lot of y'all have babies trying to keep men around and different stuff, and now it's come back to bite you in the ass. Now you want me to take the responsibility. No, I took care of my kids. That's it. I take care of my kids, and you should find you a man to do the same. If my wife can do it,
all right, Sim Police. Oh God! Oh boy!
Oh shit! Oh God!
Police! Oh God!
Oh dear!
Hold on, guys! Hit that like button. Again, please hit the like button. Please share. Hit the darn like button. Hit the like button. All right, Sim Police. Unmute yourself. Go ahead, bro. Oh God!
Oh God! Oh shit!
First of all, salute to you, my brother. How are y'all brothers doing on this platform? How y'all doing on this great night? How you doing on this Black History Month? Salute to your channel, Dynasty, man. Salute to what you're doing over there in Africa. Salute to the small percentage of Black people that want to see a better life, a more calmer life, that's seeking better understanding to where they're their lineage came from, wherever we could, even if we have to throw a dart at Africa, long as we land over there and we can see something different besides the fuck shit that we going on. Salute to Kyla. You know, he's doing his thing. I finally got Kyla on the we're doomed train for as Black American. He finally came on the round. He separated the hustle smart, the battle talk, and he just stuck with the facts. Salute to Brandon. Brandon show is growing. Pan-Africanism is stronger than ever. We're few in numbers, but you know, we all doing our thing different. And salute to the other brother. Salute to the chat. Now,
thanks, man.
You know, now that we got that shit out the way, you know what I'm saying, just for us to respect.
Oh, dear.
You know, the thing about it is, you know, we always try to be nice, and I understand Dinah's position. I understand Brandon position, because they have bigger channels. They can't really say what they want to say, because in America, women, in our community, Black women are the biggest consumers. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want to say the wrong thing, even though this big booger wolf, Stacey Abrams, thick neck bitch out here running around in the street with Black Panther leggings on, with vibranium on, trying to stuff all that girth in there, with 6 kids by 12 baby daddies, at the child support office every week, at the court office every week, at the defects office every week, with an iPhone 13 with some Jordans on and a red bottom, jumping out of Uber. You won't tell the truth about her dysfunction, and then you got the same chick that stay next door to her, that's built up like a project refrigerator. She's complaining about the same men that her next door neighbor is raising. That's the contradiction in the Black women. Black women are sitting up here complaining about the same men that they're raising. Change that, not raising the ones that's crawling out their coop to kente, because that's all that's happening. Because in our community, Black men are not thriving, we're surviving. That's all we're doing, because only thing a Black woman got to do is lay on her back, put her legs up in the air. She's natural, flexible, and we call that strong. That's what we have been taught. That's what been beat in men's head, that just because a woman can lay down on her back and let you flop around on top of her like a fish out of water, because that's what it looked like for most of us. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm over 40 with a bad back and bad knees. I'm uncoordinated like a motherfucker. So it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing pretty going on. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that the choices that they make is based on looks. You get what I'm saying? The choices they make based on swag. And the funny part is, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people always, even when my family, they hear me talk, they be like, well, why you complaining about it and you're a high value? Like, this is what my family calls me, a high value Tyrone. You get what I'm saying? That's what they call it. They call me a high value Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? So they won't call me a Pookie, you know what I'm saying, because I'm from the project, apartment 58A, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, I'm a high value man for as financial, because I gross over $200,000 a year. And I've been doing that for over 10 years. But the thing about it is that the way that society is promoting Black women, and the way the system is set up to take from a Black man, is nowhere in the world. I marry one of these wig, weave wearing, wild hyena hood rats that's rocking 36 inches of Cambodia, natural, kinky, wavy, natural, silky, wet, Indian. None of that. That's not what I promote, because only black people on Friday, tomorrow, will start making plans on how they can spend all their money. This is what we do. You get what I'm saying? When we on Friday, we're trying to figure out how much money we can spend. We don't sit back and be like, well, you know what? Let me sit in this house on this weekend. You know what I'm saying? And try to figure out how much I can put in this Roth IRA, how much I can put in a CD. You know what I'm saying? Let me look into these different insurance plans. That's not how we talk. We're going to look at the weather report. These chicks out here with these whack-ass weaves on top of their head, gonna just see if it's raining. You know what I'm saying? See if they got to take an umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Out. That's it. And we're going to get out in the streets and shake our stinking asses all day. And we're going to spend as much money as we can when shaking your ass is free. Y'all don't think it's free? Look at the videos in Africa. You see them chicks out there shaking their ass on dirt roads, barefooted. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost no money to shake your stinking ass. But not black people. We got this thing to where we want to go buy the bar to shake our stinking ass. We want to go buy a booth to shake your stinking ass. That's $200-$300. We buying 100 bottles of liquor to shake our stinking ass. and we sit up and think like it's some type of way, it's some type of unity. Now, this is one thing that I like about Jewish people, Pakistanians, all that. You know, if you look back in your history, black people, they all had their dynasties. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all watch the movie 300. You know, some of it is based on history, and these had these big dynasties. But what they understand is that, you know what, we once had that power. We don't have that power now. We have to evolve. So we need to start becoming businessmen. Black people are the only people that still talk about we kings and queens, and we have this bravado like, okay, one day white people gonna give us the power again, or are we gonna take it from us? Let me tell y'all something about the Democratic plantation where y'all like to lick on all their balls. I don't care who they are. You know what I'm saying? The Democrat and the Republican would never give power back to black people. Those white people will nuke. They will blow up America before they give power away. So if they won't give you no power, why in the fuck would you think they're gonna give you some money? Like it's the equivalent of me laying on the sofa and my son right there. My son is 12 years old now, and he just jumping on top of me, punching me. Now I can easily kick him in his goddamn kidney and send him crying to his mama if I wanted to. It would be so easy. I'm 6'3", 278 pounds. I just went to the Shack on McDonald Avenue and got me some food today, so I might be 278. Might be 279. I can easily knock his little ass out, but I let him because it makes him feel good to just sit up there and punch his daddy and jump on his daddy like that. You get what I'm saying? But it means nothing. And that's what white people do because they see that black people only attack each other.
Hey, simply, the Shack across the street from the gas station, the Family Dollar.
Yes, sir, man. Come on now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Come on now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They got the Honey Heat barbecue sauce that make your left leg swell up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I digress. But what I'm saying is that they see how we operate as a people. You get what I'm saying? We physically gifted. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can jump. Look at that black man jump. You know what I'm saying? You could jump up in the air, stick the ball through your legs, stick it in your ass, make it come out your mouth, and then you can dunk the ball. You know what I'm saying? You could catch an 80-yard pass, you know what I'm saying? And under your armpit. That's great. But that's how they let us make that money. White people intentionally let our superstars, as we call them, they let them make as much money as they can in entertainment. They don't even get in the way. Steph Curry can have a $40 million contract. Kevin Durant can have a $60 million contract just jumping out there entertaining white people. And look in the crowds. It ain't that many black people in the crowd. White people will pay $15,000 for a front row seat to let black people entertain them. You know what I'm saying? Because when they go home, they can't shoot a basketball, they can't throw a football, but what they do is they clock in every morning to make money, to capitalize. You got people that they call urban consultants. That means that they find out where black people make their money at, and that's what they invest in. Y'all black people, y'all don't even understand. It's an investment for your demise. And we participate in it every single day. because we don't think saving our money is sexy. You know, I'd never forget, man. I went on a date with a chick, and I forgot what restaurant it is, but I had like a $20 coupon or something, and she was like, where you get that from? I'm like, hold on. First of all, you ain't paying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I said, you ain't paying for nothing. So you don't even question me nothing about my money. I said, I don't know what type of dudes you deal with that would even let you question or talk about my money. I got my own house. I got a $130,000 truck out there in my front yard. You know what I'm saying? I stay by myself. I got my own car, everything. You stay with your sister. Now, don't get me wrong. You fine as hell with some leggings on. You know what I'm saying? I give you that. You know what I'm saying? Your body is right, but you're a broke Bama chick from Southeast DC with no business about yourself. It ain't like man, one of them supersized suckers, Buster from Augusta, hail from Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna slide this coupon up in now, and then we gonna go back to my house, and I'm gonna bust that Kunta Kinte, and I'm gonna put you in rotation, and I'm gonna send you out there to them suckers that gonna sit up there and let you question them, because you ain't gonna question nothing. Hustle smart going on, and that's the problem.
All right, Simply, hold on. We got Miss Shannon. How you doing, Miss Shannon? How you doing?
Tell us about your bad knees again, Hustle Smart.
No, hold on. Hey, Miss Shannon. Hold on. Miss Shannon. Go ahead, Miss Shannon. How you doing? How you doing, sweet?
Jeanette, brother. Peace, brother. How are y'all? I just needed to come in here and put some balance up in here. I hear your anger. I hear your concern. I agree with a lot of your points in terms of the status of the Black family, how, you know, Black liberals are really taking us down a path that we don't need to go down. And I agree with a lot of the stuff that you brothers are saying, but I also hear a lot of anger towards sisters. And I agree with sisters in how we need to have more accountability, right? I understand that. I work with a girls' youth program, and we talk to our sisters all the time about mate selection, right? And where the family starts and how we have to have mate selection. My husband, who I've been married to for over 15 years, he also works with a boys' rites of passage program. And I must be honest with you, those brothers are hard pressed to find other brothers to come in and help with those boys. So, you know, sisters will come in all the time and help with our girls. But we're having a hard time finding brothers that want to come out and do the work. You brothers are doing the work, but also in terms of accountability, just like Brother Simp Police Academy, like he just said, you know, brothers are not being accountable about the types of women that you're selecting, right? You want the sisters with the banging bodies. You want the sisters with the hair weaves and all of that stuff, because that's what a lot of you are picking. Because I work with sisters all the time, and I'm actually in a sisters group, an African Women's Society of hundreds of women, and all of us are wives and mothers, and some of us who aren't wives and mothers are looking for husbands, and they can't find them. Of the 6 of you brothers on this panel, how many of you outside of Brother Brandon are married? You're all over 30, you know? The majority of you are not married. So is that a priority? Is that your charge?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying it's to blame anyone. I'm just saying that both sides have a lot to work on. You know, we both have a lot to work on. Sisters need to work in the community with other sisters and get that together. But there's a lot of stuff.
This is Shannon. Let me ask you a question. In all due respect,
absolutely.
You're a mother. You know what I'm saying? And I had the utmost respect for the women in our community. You're the bearer of our children. And everything like that. So there's a lot of respect. I must say everything with the highest of respect, you know. Mm-hmm. I think the question is not so much as that. It's the culture that's gotten away from Black America, right?
Absolutely.
We look at the world through the prisms of white people, right? So that's why brothers like, oh, I want the girl with the light skin. I want the girl like and the sisters like, I want the dude that's balling, flashing, everything like that, right?
Right, absolutely.
My initial point was when you see Black immigrants here, right? They don't seem to be affected by that, right?
Well, I mean, they also had to deal with colonialism, so there's a lot of that.
Well, I know, but the thing is,
my father's family is from the Caribbean. There's a lot of that there.
When you have our African brothers on here, right? They always tell you, yeah, my African sisters on here, my husband, they're always married. They always have stuff like that, right? And somehow they choose to basically say, look, this is a future for you. Having a family, raising a family is the way to go. We have let me say it like this, right? We are the only group of people, right? And I don't want to take this, they might take this the wrong way, who have a culture or popular culture of people telling you that why get married? You got women that are freezing their embryos until they turn 50. You know about that, you know?
Right,
It's a whole,
absolutely.
and also you have brothers out there like Nick Cannon. They want to be played. They want to have 20 kids and whatnot. You know, all this player stuff on both sides. You know, on both sides. You know, here's the difference though, right? We always clown these dudes that do that. That's a joke, whatever, like that. You know, because black men, we know that we can't be out there doing this. Like, because if you're over 40 and you're hitting the club, there's something wrong with you. You looked at as odd. You know, nobody wants to see a man in his 40s hitting on a 25, 26-year-old girl in the club, you know? But at the same time, right? A sister go out there, right? It's like, you go, girl. She be out there 50 years old when that, and they call her cougar and stuff like that. Oh, she go out there and it's celebrate. She go out there and get a white guy. Oh, it's okay. It's like nobody ever tells black women, right? As much as the work you're doing right here, nobody ever tells black women that's not a good look. Why? Because we don't have the moral compass anymore in our community. They'll call you old-fashioned, whatever like that, you know? Black men,
Absolutely.
we have no choice.
I absolutely agree with you. I understand. I don't make comparisons between continental African brothers and sisters and us because we've had completely different histories, right? Our experiences have been similar, but they have been very different in terms of the structure and the systemic systems that have been put in place to break up our families.
And sister, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question on this, right?
Sure.
Actually, the black family was intact up until the 1960s. Most black people, you research it, right? Most black families coming out of a generation, we had communities. The girl was average black was married at age 19, right? And they made it. My grandparents were married young, you know. My parents were married young.
You know? And then what systems were put in place to tear that apart?
Oh, no. I think
Colin, let me ask her a question real quick.
Yes,
Brandon. Let me finish one statement, Brandon. Let me finish one statement. I think Black America, right? Like you look at Compton, all these failed, what should have been possibly failed. We were a victim of our own success. You know, we got jobs, got money, and women start feeling independent. Men start feeling, why am I married? And so the bottom line, we look up, we're 40 years old. We're not married. Oh, you were partying. I mean, it was 70s. Hey, we're partying. Everybody's partying. Nobody think about marriage and everything.
Brother Tyler, I would not consider the CIA putting crack cocaine in our neighborhoods and tearing our families down as a success. And that was a huge.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, though, let me say, can you agree to this, right? If black people had a lot of money in places like Compton, LA, and stuff like that, there was a lot of money circulating the streets because drug dealers were walking. Ask Hope Simplice right here. He was in it, right? There was a lot of money floating down the hood. They came from somewhere. We weren't poor. We weren't that broke. So the crack came in there, and people wanted to get high and party and everything like that. And there's people that came in and like that. Now we were poor, right? Like our ancestors were. And the crack would have been still sitting on the streets. Nobody had no money to buy it, you know?
I don't know about that. I grew up in New York in the 70s and 80s. I saw the heroin come through in the 70s and tear our families down first. And we didn't have any money back then. So we can continue to make excuses, but what we need to do is both brothers and sisters need to be accountable. I totally agree with a lot of the stuff you brothers are saying about our sisters, but I think the onus of the black family cannot be thrown at the black woman's feet, brothers. Y'all are in charge. My husband knows who's in charge.
We always say.
Wait, Kyla, please let me. Kyla, please let me. Okay, so I get where you're going, right? And a lot of my women in my family, my mom, and you know the older women in my family, they think they know a lot, and I be trying to tell them, y'all, none of y'all had successful relationships, so y'all don't know nothing about relationships. You have, right? You just said one very important thing. You said, my husband is in charge. That's what you said. Like, right. Here's the difference. You have a husband. You guys have a family, right? Do you have any kids?
We do have children, yes.
Okay, so you have children. Here's the problem with women. And this is why, even though I'm married, I still put the onus on the black woman. Mm-hmm. Black women are starting families without being married. No
Right. And
man.
so are brothers. So are black
Wait.
men.
No, listen. Wait a minute. There's a thing called an abortion. If a woman get pregnant by some dude, if a woman go and sells herself to a man and accidentally get pregnant, say, "Oops, I don't want to have a baby by this little Asian dude who gave me money for sex," she goes and gets an abortion.
Mhm.
Right? She knows how to go do that. She knows how to terminate a pregnancy. Black women love doing that. They've done 62 million pregnancy terminations since the 1960s. They're very familiar with it. This is my body, right? So when she goes to the gangbanger and the dude is shooting at people and he's cutting up dope in front of her and he's bagging up weed in front of her and his car's getting shot up, she almost getting shot. You know what I'm saying? I have people I know who live through this stuff. And then she sees that that guy has 4 other children by 4 other different women. She then goes and starts a family with that person without being married to him. I'm gonna have a baby by Pookie. See, you're trying to make it like, oh, we're just throwing this at the bottom of women's feet.
No.
A man cannot start a family without a woman. There's a difference there. A woman can start a family without a man because she can go give herself to a man who she knows has no intention of having a family with her.
That is true. But okay, when do we say that these pookies have some responsibility? Who's raising these brothers?
Listen,
who is teaching
women
them?
are raising them.
No,
Pookie
but who is
wait,
not raising them? Who
Pookie
should
doesn't
be raising them?
listen. Pookie doesn't even have a dad. Okay, so
Okay,
so here's the thing. If I see a bunch of dope dealers on the corner and gangbangers, I'm
right.
not gonna go and say, "Hey, let me go find out what's the whole history behind why this dude don't got a dad." I'm gonna walk the other way because I don't want to be involved with that. Our women want to be involved with degenerate behavior. Yep.
But that is not, I mean, and the majority of sisters of black women in this country do not want to be involved with those brothers. The majority of us are not having children with those brothers. So if you want to look at the bottom of the barrel of these sisters who are, they're equally yoked. All right, they're equally yoked because I know hundreds, maybe thousands of women who don't live that reality and are still single mothers.
Do you have women? Do you have women that you know who got with the wrong type of guys and they're your age now, still single, still having the street life?
Absolutely not. All the women and I may be an exception, I don't know. But all the sisters that I know that are my age, they may have made mistakes when they were younger, but they've also at some point they have raised their families and they have made better decisions as they've gotten older.
So what you're saying is this: they've made mistakes. I acknowledge everyone makes mistakes.
Absolutely.
But what you're trying to do is make black men responsible for the mistake. Hold on.
Brother. See, that's the difference. I'm not putting the onus on any one group. I'm saying that we both have serious pathologies, both of us. Both of us, black men and black women. We were both brought here. We were both put through not the same situations, but we both have suffered the same injustices, right? So we both have issues. It's not one or the other.
Shannon, let me ask you this question. I want to ask this question to even the women in the audience. Yeah, I
wish more sisters would come on and talk because I feel like it's very imbalanced.
Let me ask you this question because I asked my family members, my sisters, I have 5 of them. They all confirm this. Every woman in the age of social media has at least 5 good men in her inbox who she's ignoring totally while going into failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship. Even probably men come in your inbox. Oh, you so beautiful. Men are all over in these inboxes. There's truck drivers, construction workers, union members. They're on Instagram. They're hitting people up in the messaging. Our women make a concerted effort to avoid the good men who work, who want to have a family, and they go get Pookie, the dude with his pants hanging off his butt. Everyone has a choice now. It's social media. You can connect with somebody without even having to go meet him. Hey, let this guy take me out. If this guy can't afford to buy you a meal, that's probably not going to be husband material. And every day you got women going out, they paying for men, They got these men that don't even got 2 coins to rub together. They paying for them. They got the dude living up in their house. I've seen women. I was on a train going to downtown LA, leaving downtown LA. I saw black women. It was dudes getting out of county jail. You can get on the train for free with your wristband in LA, right? There were black with these dudes didn't even have clothes. They have these little paper jumpsuits they release you in the county. Like if you got a mental problem and the police took you in and you was butt naked or something, they give you a paper jumpsuit when you get out. You don't got no property. There were dudes in these paper jumpsuits, Dinus, on the train with a wristband, getting out of county jail with the little Ninja Joes, Karate Joe, little flip-flops on. These black women was giving these dudes their phone number.
Look, the reality is that
y'all love Pookie.
You know what? And that you may have a point. You actually may have a point. There are some sisters that would go for that nonsense. But the reality is that those same women who are equally yoked with those Pookies, they grew up without fathers too. So they have absolutely no idea what type of names to select.
Hold on. I'm gonna push back on that. I know a lot of girls that came from middle class backgrounds. I mean, that's the new thing. Middle class pretty black girls come from middle class backgrounds. Look, and they get like the one girl that got you remember the case back in Howard University, not Howard, Hampton University. That girl that got with a drug dealer, and she got life imprisonment. They let her out a few years ago.
No, they were just one.
We can talk about exceptions all night.
Oh, no,
I don't think that the majority of sisters.
That's not an exception. Whatnot. You see middle class black girls who basically come from middle class, daddy in the house, everything like that, and they choose that life and whatnot. You know, they said my father was, boy, I don't want my parents. They say they reject their parents. What is it about their parents that worked hard? My parents worked. I don't want that life. They want the glamour life and everything. That's something, and also in our culture, is that, that people have to refute it. You got the bottom line. Nobody wants to be Florida Evans and James Evans anymore. You know. Nobody wants to be.
I see that in my reality.
Nobody wants to be. Black women don't want to be Georgia Weezy.
I'm sorry, Brother Kala. So even if that is the truth, right? So what are the solutions? What are your action plans? What do we need to do? Because 3 hours of us complaining about sisters or complaining about brothers is not helping us.
Let me say this.
How you gonna ask a question and then start monologuing? Get a brother time to answer the question.
How smart. Let me say this. Here's a problem right here, right?
No. Hustle smart. Come on, hustle smart.
I mean, I'm just being real. If somebody asks a question,
I asked the question. He started his answer before my question was completely answered.
Okay. Like I said, let's start over. She's a woman. She's a mother.
She's a nice lady.
A nice lady. We're gonna give her respect. You know. Here's the problem right here: is that black people on the whole, male and female, right? We are a bunch of African Americans, right? I'm saying the African American culture, right? We as a culture have to change. We have to grow up and be adults. You know, when they say when I was a child, I thought like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things.
Right.
Black people in America are childish, right? And the one thing I don't tolerate is childish behavior among adults. You know, we're foolish. Look at the lady that played in the movie Bad Boy, right? The mother, and Bad Boy.
Baby Boy. AJ Johnson.
That wasn't Taraji Johnson. That was the mother, his mother, the girl that played
AJ Johnson.
She basically celebrated her 50th birthday with dudes running a train on her.
With a threesome.
And nobody in social media, nobody in all these outlets and everything will condemn that. I'm here to condemn that right now. You know,
I'm here to condemn that too. That's ridiculous.
So more black women got to say, look, we don't want that. You got to turn off these stupid shows like Scandal and all this nonsense and everything like that. That's how you take the culture back. You know, you can't sit here and listen to all the Make Power and the Book of Power and the Force and all that, the #1 show in Black America. I'll see all this dysfunction and everything, and then talk about, well, what can we do? You know, it's us. It's us because our people are going down there, and it's not fair to our children because we don't want to grow up.
And I agree with you completely, Brother Kala. All I'm saying is that we both need to. If we're going to get the black family back together, we're going to have to work. We're going to have to work together. We're going to have to work together. We're going to have to put each other's issues to some degree aside and start working with each other, because we won't
do, check this out. You ever heard the expression, what you eat is your soul? When you put something in your soul, let
her finish. She wasn't finished. Let her finish.
Okay,
I was finished. Thank you.
Okay, no, what you put in your soul and your mind and everything, eventually it manifests itself out. Now we think it's cute when we got kids on TikTok. Oh, look at my son. Mother F you. You see the little girls, boys with that cursing and whatnot in front of the kids and whatnot. We think that's cute. Oh, that's so cute and everything. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
But again, I'm sorry. You didn't finish your point.
Can I say this? Let me just say this. What we have to do, women validate men, men validate women. That's
Absolutely.
the way it is. Don't no man go work at a job and put on nice clothes and drive a nice car because he wants his homeboys to like it, okay? If it was up to men, we'd be walking around in dirty basketball shorts eating chicken wings every night for dinner. We do all what we do for women. Women do everything they do for men. They put the caniculon in
the whole world is centered around women. Women have the power.
Right. But what women...
You're trying to get away from the caniculon, brother.
Women have, listen, the Remy, whatever it's called. The women have, I tell my sisters this every day. Women have so much power because men do everything they do for the validation of women. But what women have to do is they have to make it cool to be with men who are responsible again.
We absolutely do. I agree with you on that.
No, I don't think so.
Is that the same way that women validate men?
We need to do that.
Yeah, we absolutely need to do that. Well, what I'm saying is that the women, generally, men validate women as well, right? And the sisters just want to be what we think y'all want us to be. So when we see brothers like, what's his name out in Philly? Meek Mills putting pictures of his album cover with sisters bent over on the sides of buses, right? When y'all
nobody I know.
Let her finish, Colin.
No, when y'all highlight and give sisters with pardon my expression, with their asses out and weaves down their backs, 1 million followers, 1 million follows. When young women who haven't learned themselves yet, young African women who haven't learned themselves yet, when we say that's who you give the attention to, and that's who you praise, and that's who you give all of the highs to, that's who they want to be, right? So we validate each other. So we can't say, all the sisters want thugs when I also see all of the brothers want that nonsense. So we have to be honest about that.
I don't think the brothers validate that because men, it was like, even when I used to watch rappers, right? Like, I know Snoop Dogg, right? I know I'm from Long Beach. And I remember somebody asked him, hey, why don't you have black women in your videos a lot? Like, they were mad at him because he had black women in his videos. He said, man, the chicks in my videos is hoes. I don't look at black women as hoes. And men call women who act like that hoes or whores. So you're telling me that when men talk about, I don't love these hoes and I just used her and this dick is what I gave her and all that stuff, all the pimp music, right? Women listen to the way men degrade those women and say, ooh, I want to be that. That doesn't make
Brent, I got
about killing each other, and they want that.
We make a clear distinction between women who are loose women who objectify themselves, and we make it clear that those women are low value. So any woman who wants to go be a low value hood rat because she's getting the attention of a bunch of men for a quick little bit, and then everywhere she goes, that's a hoe, that's a hoe, that's a hoe. And women are calling her a hoe, and men are calling her a hoe. I'm not buying that.
But let's be honest about it. Let's talk about the stripper culture that's being praised. Let's talk about, we have to really honestly look at it. It may be what they say, but when they're showing the chicks that they're with, when they're showing the ones that they picking to be their baby's mamas, who they throwing millions at, it's not sisters like me. It's not even younger versions of me.
Let me say something to that, right? There was a video on TikTok going around, right, where the sister was like talking about how colorism and videos and everything, like she was saying, well, this is why black women can't get married. But all her examples were the Chris Brown's video, Trey Songz video, and everything. And I just simply said, look, sister, okay, so why is the light skinned women objectified and everything, whatever stupid stuff they talk about, right? I said, well, is your attention beef with black celebrities and what they choose to put in videos to make money and market, or black men? Because I said, I seen your picture, sister. You're a beautiful sister, You're a beautiful sister. There's men out there, for a fact of the matter, that there's men that pull up on you on the light. I said, men at the light, you run the light because you don't want to talk to them. Your thing is, why shouldn't you be on that video with Trey Songz and Chris Brown or whoever else, And I'm saying to myself, the average black guy, brother, when that you may see that's driving a garbage truck, he may be making six figures, but that doesn't appeal to you. Let me say this. Let me say this, right?
It's no flash behind it.
Let me say this, Hustle Smart. Let me say this, right? I don't know where we as black men went wrong. I don't know where we went wrong as a race, but why our women, it pains me why they don't love themselves, why not the way we love them. You know what I'm saying? We look at you as our queens. We love you. And when I see a black woman that connects me to my roots, my African ancestry and everything like that, you can't give me any other race of women, right? But no matter what I tell them, right? I've been with women before, right? I love you, beautiful and everything. And the bottom line is this: unless they get that validation from mainstream America and white America and stuff like that, it does not mean anything. Like there's a good song, Goody Mob, right? They made a song. I think the song was called Black Skin. Listen to that song. What he was saying. He was trying to tell you that I love you. I want to express you. I know you got your nice job and everything like that, and my love don't mean much to you, but I just want to tell you that I love you. But the black women, today's black women, they reject that love. They call us lame.
Colin, let me just say, I was going to say that the women now have social media. Dinus, you muted. The women now have social media. Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, but don't be too long, because I want Alexis is on. Then we pass right to
Hi, Alexis.
Go ahead. Don't be too long.
Shout out to Alexis.
I'll let Alexis talk. She's my favorite viewer.
Go ahead, Alexis.
Alexis is cool.
Hi. So I just want to add some things. I'm a very analytical person. I like to look at myself, observe my issues, observe my problems, and I'm a watcher too. I'm a big observer of other people. And I think the reason why we're so dysfunctional is because we haven't addressed our traumas. And in our community, we really ignore that. And sometimes when I bring up us going to therapy or having a life coach, like my family would just not even like engage in those type of conversations, but have conversations of why so-and-so is on drugs or why so-and-so keeps on getting pregnant or whatever. I just really think we really need to address our traumas, and that's the first step into rebuilding the Black household, and then everybody will, come into sense of solutions once we start addressing our traumas. I think that's very important for us to do first. Then everything else will fall in line.
Hey, Miss Alexis, you cool with me. This Hustle Smart. Let me ask you a question. Where do you think that we're gonna have a thing from 1 to 10? Where do you think Black people put getting their mind together, going to talk to a therapist between 1 to 10, or is it even on the list?
I would have to say it's probably like a 2 or 3. I hear some Black women, even the Black women that goes to the clubs to shake their butts and stuff, they're starting to talk about, sign up to this app for therapy. And I do see women logging on to like Tony Gaskins, who's a life coach. They're starting to have that conversation, but it's still looked up as a stigma to go to therapy. Like, I feel like Black people only engage into stuff unless it's popular or it's the trend to do. But, they don't want to be looked up as weak. And we have a hard time admitting to our traumas and to our what makes us weak and what we need to really work on. We have a shame into getting help, and that's our issue.
Yeah, I agree with you because we're the type of people that we think we know it all. We got every intention. We got third eye, sixth eye, brown eye, whatever eye. We know everybody's business. We knew what we said because we knew what we said. We told you because we told you. So even if we dead ass crazy out there in the streets, shitting in our head, throwing at the wall, we're not going to let nobody else tell us anything because we have this fake sense of white Jesus. You get what I'm saying? We have this thing that nobody can judge me but white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's the funniest thing in the world. I'll never forget the day I was in court with my homeboy, and this judge is sitting up there. He is dead ass guilty, and he had his opportunity to say something different, and he's gonna tell this judge that nobody can save him, nobody can judge him but God. But this is something that he heard from like a woman speak, or he heard from a preacher speak. See, it sounds good and when you're not in the court system. But the man sat there and gave him 360 months later. He said, not only that I can judge you, I am gonna judge you. You know what I'm saying? And then unless God come back down and open up these bars, you're gonna do 85% of these 30 years. So do you see, Miss Alexis, how these statements that we do as black people, how these colloquialism that we have as black people don't do numbers, run us in the ground. We are the kings and queens of quotes. We got the best quotes it is. Fix it, Jesus. Won't he do it? Blessed by the best. Come through, Jesus. Look at God. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
Mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. And I know
face without works is dead. Just like now, the newest coping mechanism was we were already here. Our ancestors didn't come to this. That's a new. It's the same thing all over again. You know, that's a new religion. We were all here. Slavery's a lie. I didn't come from Africa and everything like that. I'm Native American. All this kind of foolishness and everything, which is going to twist black people's mind even worse than anything we've ever seen because of trauma. You're still looked at as the descendant of slavery, no matter what you try to get away. The white people know where you came from, and everybody that comes here knows where you came from. We're the only group of people that basically are ashamed of our heritage because we never properly dealt with it. We never went to war with these people. We never did. We never tried to really get away from them, whatever like that. So the bottom line is this: we're on the bottom. So we black people, African Americans, can be the most powerful people in the world. We learn to love ourselves, start building our family, and start taking ourselves seriously. It starts seriously is we got to leave the foolishness. There's plenty of foolishness out there. We said 1.8 trillion of it goes right back into the American economy. Let's basically be insular among ourselves, start loving ourselves, building our families and everything like that, and that'll be our New Testament.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So I just feel like let's start opening more conversations on therapy and just being more open with each other. There's a reason why, the girl that you may know that's on drugs, there's a reason why she's on drugs. There's a reason why, your uncle might be an alcoholic. He's trying to cope with his issues, and that dysfunction is just rooted off of trauma. We just need to address the trauma, and that's how we're able to rebuild.
Black America. Let me ask you something, Alexis. Right? Every year, there's more slave movies coming out. Right? Trauma.
But we love it.
We love trauma and everything like that. We love trauma, and it's making us crazy. It's making us crazy. And then there's some black people like, okay, I'll trauma bond with you and everything, but then they say, well, my ancestors were already here. Whoa, I thought we're trauma together. We're in this together. No. I was in the house. I was a field. I was one of the Indians. You see what I'm talking about? Everybody wants a trauma bond with you and everything until it's time to come to pay the price. Okay, we're trauma bonding, but now it's time. Like, no. Yeah, I see what you say, but I came before that. My ancestors were already here. Or the Africans have a legitimate saying, look, I like the trauma bond with you, my African American brothers, but I just got a green card like 10 years ago. I got my shit back in Nigeria to fall back on, So
I'm really past that. I'm really past that point. Like I'm learning, my heritage, my lineages, and I'm looking into Africa, searching, researching, and looking to plan a trip. Because in order to love myself completely, I have to go and connect with my roots. But I
Yeah.
just don't understand the disconnect when I have conversations with my family of going to Africa. It's like I'm going to visit Mars, and they're like, "Why you want to go
Yeah.
there?" It's
Because
like
we don't know it. We don't know anything about it.
I really don't. It's like sometimes I'm like, oh, yo, some of these people are just retarded. Like Marcus Garvey was right when he said that we're gonna have to leave like a lot of them behind.
85%. You have been on my show. You hear me talk about it all the time. It's only about 15% of black people that are like-minded thinker. The other 85% will stab you in the back, will be the right hand of white supremacy, will go against their own, will turn on their own, will put their own in jail, will kill their own, sell drugs to their own. Now, believe me, Miss Alexi, I was a part of that. But the thing about it, I was a part of it as a young age when I didn't have no guidance. But the thing about it is once I became an adult, you know what? I had a self-reflection. I said that if I was that conniving and cutthroat against my own people, then let me give a chance to boost. Let me put that same energy towards helping my people. That's all I did. It ain't nothing special about me. I didn't have to go talk to nobody, but I understand the way the brain is. And that's why I focus on my channel. Like everybody has their channel, Miss Alexis, how they focus their channel. I focus my channel strictly on the mind because our mind frame is fucked up. Just like Callie said earlier, we are childish when it comes to how we see life. We look at things to like, I care about it, but if it don't hit my doorstep, then I don't worry about it. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of people we are. We'll sit up there and throw you a prayer quote. We'll sit up there and drop on our knees and pray for you. We'll tell you we hope for the best, we wish you the best, but we won't get out and put no manual labor behind helping. I never forget this, Miss Alexis. I never forget me and my sister, we was riding through this neighborhood and these kids was out there selling something. They were selling cookies or something to help something. And I was like, well, you know what, to go over there and get something. My sister, her mom said, shoot, my son don't go to that school. You get what I'm saying? Like, even though actually my sister, she's a supervisor at Geico. She makes plenty of money. She's like the regional supervisor. So $5 or $10 that could help out somebody else. These were black kids. You get what I'm saying? But that's how we are. But I guarantee you, if it was white kids, my sister would have pulled up over there. And I'm telling you, that's how my sister is, and that's how a lot of black people is. We don't see another black person as equal. We see another black person as somebody to take, or a black person trying to take something from you. But we see white people as the power. The greatest thing that the white people did is that they integrated with us. See, all that fighting in the 50s and 60s, you know, the black people, think about it like this, Miss Alexis. Back before we was before they segregation or whatever, we was under all these oppression, getting lynched, getting killed. We was together, you know what I'm saying? Because we was together doing all that, scared to walk outside, scared to walk up the streets, scared to walk past Uncle Mulberry tree. We were scared to do all that. But once white people let us in the door, but we got wide the fuck open.
It was
you get
sad.
what I'm saying?
It wasn't even 10 years. It was all forgotten about. Never talked about again. I didn't even know. When I was a little kid in the 70s, right? When I was a kid, like 4 or 5 years old in the 70s, I used to be in Liberty City, North Carolina, and whatnot. We used to go to the white man's store, grocery store, and everything like that, right? And then I got older. I learned the history, right? I said, "Oh wow, you guys had civil rights march." I said that was basically only 10 years prior to when I was being there, you know. So all this like that, the black man getting killed, whatever like that, got thrown in the Pasquotank River and stuff like that. I'm saying that's not that long ago. So black people basically hushed about everything. Everything's good. We got civil rights, like that, and all that trauma, right? That we know it happened, right? That's why our people all the way up. That's why I need my African brothers understand. Black America, your brothers and sisters over here is going through a lot of trauma that we cannot, because the world told us that we were free once Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." I have a dream. And the bottom line is this: the things have gotten worse because, like Hustle Smart said, we were together. We were dealing with this together. Now they say it's all over with. Deal with it, right? So now you got people out there. One time you could be killed for. We had Emmett Till. Not even think about it. If this is 1975, right? Emmett Till was only 20 years before that in Mississippi. Think about that. 20 years. That's no time period, right? That's recent, right? And so all that trauma, right? We had to just forget and just deal with it, And we still got the same hatred for us out there, and we had to somehow do this because it was for the greater good of America. We were taught to love America, tell the world that America we're fine over here and we're making progress. Everything deep down inside, we had a lot of anger and resentment. And right now, we're taking that anger and resentment out on Black immigrants,
And we taking it out on each other because the funny thing is, Callie, that nobody pays attention to us. Only people pays attention to Black people is Black people. That's why they call our sector the Black sector. That's why they call it the beef sector. Maybe y'all ain't never heard them terms before, but this was they called the Black sector. You got white boys, Chinese boys, all type of Jewish people. They going out in these street places, eating some sandwiches and eating some food. They getting 5 million, 10 million views. You know what I'm saying? But we sit up here arguing. We sit up here arguing with each other, just trying to get along, Dinus. Think about that, Dinus. As smart as some Black people are, you have to come to the that are and a lot of people that are smart is that you got to come to the realization that we will rather argue and fight than work together. It's like that. It's like that. Dysfunction is embedded in our DNA. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you go to a concert, if everybody ain't jumping up and down, screaming and yelling, then we'll say that concert ain't lit. If we go to, let me give you a better example. If you go to a church and the preacher ain't spinning around, doing the mashed potato, doing the split, busting his nuts on the pulpit, throwing a handkerchief up in the air, catching in his asshole, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to like that church. But if another preacher just stands up there on that same pulpit and he just speaks in a normal voice and read from the Bible and give you explanation, his church is not going to be popular. We like to be entertained. And you know what I'm saying? And we like to do the entertaining. We love it. It's just something that we do. And the funny part is majority of us, that's what we strive for. Majority of the women raise their kids up to be that because they think that it's a one-way ticket. The one-way ticket for a Black woman to come up right now, the three different ways is the son to be a rapper, the son to be in sports, or his son to be killed. Because if he die in the streets, she can get out there and yell with that Jiffy corn pop bag on her head, you know what I'm saying, out there and can beg people for money, you know what I'm saying, and she will get 30 to 40, and not only will she get the funeral paid, they'll get 40, 50,000 up, because that's the thing about white people. White people do have a little bit of guilt, so they'll be like, you know what, we'll throw them niggers over there a couple of dollars. They have no problem doing that because they make more money and they're the majority of the population. It behooves me for Black people to think that the majority will ever feel sorry for the minority. They brought us over here to work. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't care. That's why some of it, I read up on the Liberian plan. The plan was to try to, because some of the Southern slave masters was like, well, we free these Black folks. They ain't going to be too kindly of this. You know what I'm saying? We might be to start migrating them to other countries so they can do it. But it got a halt because they were shocked how the Black people were so quick to assimilate. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't as many Black people mad about slavery that they thought. Even to this day, it's some Black people that do not care. They all talk about love everybody. It doesn't matter. We got short-term memory when it comes to white people. But if Callie owe me $5, I hate him for the rest of my life. And if I see one of his kids walking down the street, I'm gonna run him over with my Charger. Now you tell me where I lied in that.
Also, like,
it is, man.
we need to normalize. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Alexis. Go ahead. Then we'll close it
I
out.
was just saying that we need to normalize, going for career jobs that are, have higher salaries. We need to stop bullying like kids and our family members that are into tech or into design. Like when I grew up, I was an artist. I was a designer. I went to college for design, and my family. Some of my family members bullied me because I was really into tech and I wanted to be a designer, something that they never seen somebody go to school for. But they did all the bullying and stuff, right? But now I'm considered middle class, and to this day they ask me for money because they have to work 3 to 4 jobs to make ends meet. But I was like, where was the same, where's the energy back then when you was calling me a computer nerd? We need to really normalize tech, being a doctor, being an engineer, instead of being athletes and sugar babies.
Yeah, we need basically, like I said.
Hey, Kyla, what we'll do, Kyla? Let's do this. Simp Police, then Kyla, go ahead and close out.
I appreciate that because simply Kyla Genesis has evolved to be the simp police whisperer. You know what I'm saying? He has a tendency to streamline what I say. He say the same things. That's why I like him, man. You know what I'm saying? I got brotherly love for him because he's more polished and more seasoned in how he explained things. See, the thing about me is that if I was a white person telling you about yourself, you ain't have no problem with it because you need to come to me for a job. But see, that's the number one problem in the black community, that as far as the women, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be against the women because I understand women basic instinct is to survive. And if they're gonna survive, if they're gonna put a white boy dick in their mouth or a Chinese man dick in their mouth, if that's what they gotta do to survive, that's what they're gonna do because it's just the way it is. Now, black men, we're different like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless a black man is a broke pookie, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna go out and he's still gonna have his pick of the litter. But think about it like this, black people. When we was talking about the women earlier, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a position to where I'm 6'3", 275 pounds, got my own house, own car, own business. But I don't want no female, you know what I'm saying, for in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I still have females that I tell them that they still would want to come chill with me. Now, they'll sit up there and complain about the suckers and the simps. These dudes want to marry them. They don't want them dudes. You get what I'm saying? I never forget the day that my cousin, she went on a date with a guy and she was like, I like him so much. He can sing and he's so emotional. And then one day we was having a cookout and she was like, I can't stand him. He always singing and he emotional. That's the craziest thing. So therefore, you only go as far as the woman in your community. And right now, women are demanding such a high price. I mean, for the suckers that follow them like that, what they have to do to get with them. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I'm gonna end it with this. So because the lady was saying, what about solution? If black women required that you had to have a 401k plan to beat that foo-foo. If black women require that you had to be on your job 5 years before they let you smash that cassava. If black women require that, you know what I'm saying, that records of how you take care of your kids before they let you open up that box. You know what I'm saying? Men would fall in line. But since they don't require that, they require Gucci, Louis, Prada, all homosexual men designers. You get what I'm saying? That's what they require to smell that Kunta Kinte. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it's the get between that fish box, you know what I'm saying, it requires materialistic gains, we would never win as black people. That's just all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? And I pass the mic to Kyla. Salute to you, Miss Alexa. Salute to you, the Diners, man. And you know what I'm saying? Salute to the chat. and salute to the people that agree with me, and salute to the people that like what I said. Anybody that don't like what I say, my channel is called the Silk Police Academy. Come over there and tell me where I'm wrong. Don't tell me that I shouldn't talk about the trash in my backyard, because it's still going to be trash in my backyard. Just because I don't speak about the trash does not make it disappear. And no type of raising the roof and falling down on your magical kneecaps, thinking that God gonna throw a car note in your lap or apartment in your lap. That's not a blessing, black people. Salute to you, and I hope we do better.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Go, Colin.
Okay, now we talked about the dysfunction, right? I'm gonna close with this. We gotta start attacking the enablers of this, okay? Because there's a lot of women who are talking about divest, all this kind of dysfunction, and what they don't understand is, okay, but when children are involved, right? When you bring children to the world, right? That's the problem I have, right? If you don't want to get married, you want to go out there and do a single thing, whatever, like that, woman and everything. There's a lot of black women like Tracy Ellis Ross, right? Vivica Fox, these women are menopausal, don't have any kids. Okay, they went out there, they hoard them. They took all whoredom to another level and everything. Okay, fine. But the moment you bring children into this world, right? Then you're talking about the community. Then that becomes our problem. Why? Because when your son is in a gang, on drugs, and doing all stuff like that, right? It reflects the whole community. Because 1 minute he's cute and he's 17, 7 years old, he's cute, and everything. 6 more years go by, he's 13. Now he's basically capable of killing somebody. He's capable of murder. You have 13-year-olds in gangs and everything. And so bottom line is this. Our culture, Black American, African American culture has to change. The reason why we're losing it right now to other people coming here, because they got their family structure, right? You see guys, Nigerian, Liberian guys, 30 years old, got 2 kids, wife, everything like that and everything. And they're taking America seriously. Whatever America has to offer them, they're just basically getting the education, everything like that. And they ask them, why can't you do this, right? We're doing this, but we're not doing it together. Our community is broken. Women live over here, men live over here, children live with auntie, like that. And the dysfunction in our community is the reason why we appear bad right now to everybody else and everything, and we have nobody to blame but ourselves, because this is what we wanted. So we just have to repent and say, something going forward. We have to write a New Testament and say, no, we're going to take ourselves seriously. We're going to do our ancestors' work, and we're going to commit to pan-Africa, because we want to be ready to build Africa. You ain't going to build Africa with this with the community that you have right now. You're not gonna, with your girls on OnlyFans and all stuff like that. You're not gonna build anything with that. But when you build something, it's got to be right, it's got to be moral and correct.
Absolutely. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, down is mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
We go.
Peace.